All right, guys. Hey there. Welcome to another edition of Chalk and Bit with Baby Cakes. Pre-recorded edition, of course. I don't know if you caught a couple weeks ago, I did a little live on what it takes to do a mass recording of all my different videos. So if you haven't seen that yet, I would go check it out. You might see some of the things that might be coming up here pretty soon in the next couple weeks as I'm scheduling out all these pre-recorded videos that I'm doing. Mass producing. Gotta love the mass production. All right, so let's get down to it today. All right, so a few weeks ago, I did a help me decide. I need your help. So help me decide A, B, C, or D, right? So there were two options that everybody came back with that they loved, B and D. So D was this guy right here. This beautiful sunflower with the sunshine and the little bee guy right down here, right? So D, I think D may have actually won it. However, here's my concern. Somebody actually said, and here, I'll give you a kind of highlight. So it on this black board with this guy right here on it, and I've got the frame. It's going to be good with this frame on it, right? So I know it's going to be a little bit sketch for you guys to kind of tell. And then it was going to have this guy right down here. And I thought that would look really awesome. But I actually had somebody say when they voted for it that they love this stencil, but they weren't sure that it would go well with this wreath and this frame. So I'm not going to do it with the wreath and the frame. As much as I love this stencil, I'm not going to do it with this wreath, this frame. However, stay tuned because in a couple weeks you'll see me doing it on this board right here. Oh, let me turn it, not that you can tell. And does this look like it's a little bit too small? Yes, it does. But that's the beautiful thing about working with my stencils is that I can take and I'll do the sunflower over here. I'll dry it real quick and then I'll replace this portion a little bit closer so this way I can fit it all on there. And then I think I'm going to put a little bit of some more bumblebees and stuff because I do have a few more bumblebees out there that I can put on here just to spruce it up a bit. I think it'll look really cute. So guys, thank you for helping me figure this out, and I am sorry that I am actually not going to be doing it the way it was voted for, but that one comment just kind of stuck with me, and I was like, you know, you're kind of right. It's not going to look right on such a huge surface with the wreath. So we are going to try to get started here now that I'm moving everything out of the way, because if you saw the video of where I'm, of the behind the scenes of the mass producing, you know that I'm in just this little teeny tiny area, right? Hardly any room to work on anything. So that sucks, but that's what I got to work with, but I don't mind it. I actually kind of like my work area. All right, so I think I'm going to do it this way. So we're going to have the wreath up at the top, obviously. And then the second most voted on one was the letter B, which was there's no place like home. So I'm just going to try to get this centered really well and figure out what's a good way to make it so it looks good. This is me concentrating. Sometimes I don't talk. Yes, I think that will look great. Put this over just a little bit more. And then, like a couple of my latest videos that I've been putting out there, I'm not going to use my chalk paste this time. I am going to use some chalk paint. I have found that it is working fantastically with my stencils. I can clean them up as long as I clean them up right away. I haven't tried letting it sit or anything, so I don't know what would happen if I let it sit for a long period of time. I don't want to test it, at least not on stencils that are hardly used. So I'm going to go ahead and get these squeegees down pretty good. And there's a couple different ways you can do it. This chalk paint that I have used and that I'll be using today is a thicker one. It's just the Walmart brand. I see no issue trying to go get something a little bit more expensive for what we're doing here. It will work just fine for this. So I'm getting it all squeegeed down, and honestly, this kind of works just like my paint does, my chalk paste does. It's not, it's as thick as the chalk paste is, and it's, you don't have to dab it, you don't have to paint it or anything like that. You can just squeegee it just like I do. So I'm just gonna pour just a little bit, just because it's so, I can't get it out. Oh, there we go. Come on. Get out of there. So I'm just going to put just a little bit on there. I mean, I really didn't put much on there at all. And this is what I've been using for some of my other stencils to dab it. But I don't need to dab this because this will go on, no kidding. I mean, look, it's already a yogurt-like consistency, so it's just going to be like my regular chalk paste. And this one's going to be really quick because I really only have two little things to paste. And then once this is pasted, I have to let it dry, and then I'll go ahead and put the frame on it. And then after I get the frame on it, I will go ahead and get the wreath hung on it with a piece of burlap. Ooh. Well, ain't that something? So this is the first time this has happened. Oh, my dogs are barking in the background. I wonder if somebody's trying to come to the house. All right, I'm going to get this cleaned out here real quick. And I did notice as I was looking at this guy is that it seemed to have bled a little bit. So that could be a couple different reasons. One could be because I didn't have it down tight enough. So I'm just trying to see if I can get a little bit of, it's not working. There we go. Yep, it works almost just like my paste does. So this is, you know how I like to recycle old picture frames? So this was an old picture frame that I took, and I just painted it. I painted the picture frame brown color, just with the Rust-Oleum spray chalk paint. And then I painted the picture. Yep, I painted the actual picture. I painted it a black, and then I put a polyacrylic over it. So even though this is the chalk paste, we could probably, I should say paste. It's not paste, it's the chalk paint. Even though this is the chalk paint, because I put the polyacrylic on here, I can get some of that bleeding off of there. And this is what I do, guys. If something doesn't turn out perfect, I just go back and fix it a little bit. I've done it a time or two, so I've gotten pretty good at it. Now you might say, well, that's not good that you're good at fixing mistakes. You shouldn't make mistakes in the first place. Guess what? Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. So I don't mind making mistakes. It just makes my stuff that much more unique. But I may not spend much more time trying to fix this because, again, it does make it unique, not store-bought. Well, I mean, so it is kind of store-bought, isn't it? But not mass-produced is what I should say. There we go. And I went and did it. So the paint wasn't dry, and you see I I went ahead and did that. So let's try something. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if it'll wash off like my paste does. And I'll start from scratch. Oh, look, it did. So we're going to start from scratch, 10 minutes in. Hey, that's what this is all about, to show you that things aren't always perfect and they don't always go the way you want them to. But there is nothing wrong with starting over. There's nothing wrong with redoing. There's nothing wrong with mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with being imperfect. All right, so I'm going to dry this up real good. And I'm actually going to let it dry for a few minutes while I do the bottom portion of this. While I do the home, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll put the top back on after I'm done with the home right here. So now that I know that that did bleed through a little bit, I'm going to do a little bit better of a job of making sure this is good and tight on here. I hear my puppy dogs coming up and down the stairs. Sometimes it makes me nervous because is it really dogs or is it, hey, somebody coming into the house? No, it's actually just the dogs, I promise. All right, here we go. I just use the same method I do with my chalk paste. Like I said. And it seems to go the same way as the chalk paste does. A little will go a long way. So let's hope I got this one down good. But I'm glad you're seeing this because you need to see that not everything turns out exactly the way you want it to, and not everything's perfect. So you can actually see the little bloopers that happen and that you can fix them, and it doesn't matter. Yes, well, I didn't have it all the way down, so let me get this. But fortunately, there's less of a bleed on this one, just on the E. So I'm just going to kind of go over this E portion right here. And that just came up really good. Now sometimes I'll have cotton swabs with me. And those work really well to help with this too. To give you more precise. There we go. All right. So that's part is done. I don't know why I threw that down there. I'm going to need it again. Oops. Gosh darn it. So the hard part is when you're working with a towel, and I'm going to stop while I'm ahead, is you can kind of mess up the other portions of it. So I'm going to stop while I'm ahead with that one, and I'm going to get this guy put back down, and then I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to stop so I don't mess it up anymore, and then I'll fix it once it's all dry, which won't take long to fix it, and not really fix it per se, but just kind of make it look a little bit more, what's the word I want to look? I don't even know what word I'm looking for right now. So if you're interested in learning how to do this, please shoot me a message, hands up below, show me your love. I would love for you to get a group of people together and come to you. And I looked up and you couldn't see me because I was all the way over here. I'd love to come to you and have you host a little party and a little chalking party, and we'll get to chalking. And now with that, I will bring my chalk paste. It won't be like this because I want you guys, especially in your first experiences with using the silkscreen stencils and the chalk paste, I want it to be a very pleasant one and very fun and not scary. I don't want you to think that things mess up all the time, but they do mess up sometimes. That looks much better. All right, guys. So, not everything is perfect. Just remember that. I still make mistakes. I know it's weird, right? It's weird. But I still make mistakes when I'm making stuff. But it's easy to recover from them. And here it is. There's no place like home. And I will have a picture of this when it's all done for you guys to see. But thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. If you want to get together, host your own Chalk and Talk, I would love to help you out with that. Come to one of my regularly scheduled Chalk and Talks. Join my team, whatever you want to do. I would love to chat with you about it. So enjoy the rest of your day. I will chat with you later.